All right, sports fans, welcome to another episode of the GT Sports 100. That's our podcast where we talk professional college sports. Today, we're going to be talking week 18 of the NFL. We're going to make our predictions today. It's Tuesday. No game on Thursday, but there's two good games going on Saturday and then on Sunday as well. So definitely going to talk a little bit about week 18 NFL. And then we may talk about, coaches possibly that may not be with their teams next year. And we're going to talk a little bit of the NBA and then who else knows what James wants to talk about. So my name is Gabriel Trevino. I'm your host. And on the screen, I have my partner in crime that talks sports with me, James Johnson. James, how you doing?
Doing good. We're doing good, man.
Well, I got to say, you're looking sharp. Now, that's the first time I've seen you supporting that Seahawk. I know you're from Seattle. That's the first time on this podcast I've seen you wear a Seahawk jersey. That's telling me that you're happy with where they're at right now.
It's that time.
It's that time. Yes, sir, it is. You and I have talked off air, and I told you, look, I think the Seahawks, the question mark is Sam Darnold. We'll talk about that, but they definitely have a chance, I think, to get to the Super Bowl this year. We'll talk more about that. But, James, let's get started here with Saturday's games. We've got two big games on Saturday. As soon as I get off work, I'm going to be right here tuning into both of these games. I don't want to miss neither one of them. The first one is a 3:30 p.m. Game, NFC, the Carolina Panthers, which I know you're high on, taking on Tampa Bay. Give me your thoughts on this game, on both teams, what you've seen from them this year, and your prediction. Who do you think is going to win?
I've been riding with Carolina before the season started. I feel like Carolina, could win that division. And I still feel that way. I watched Tampa Bay. They've had a lot of injuries. So things are not clicking with Tampa Bay right now. They're not clicking with Tampa Bay. And I just feel like Carolina has a better team than Tampa Bay. And I think that Carolina will win that division, like I said at the beginning of the year, and host a home playoff game as a division winner.
Yes, you were on record before. I remember you telling me before the season, you watch out for Carolina, and then they started off a little rough, and then they definitely come a long ways, and you did see something in them that I didn't see because you said they're coming, and they definitely are. I tell you, so I'm assuming you're taking Carolina, correct?
I'm taking Carolina over Tampa Bay.
Yeah. I tell you, I think Carolina is going to win. I'm going to ride with Tampa simply because I've been riding with them all year. It sucked to jump off the bandwagon now when they still have an opportunity. So I'm gonna go with Tampa, but I gotta agree with you. I think Carolina is going to win this game because I mean Carolina, they took a loss last week, right? But they played Seattle, which is a tough team, right? So, but Tampa lost to Miami, I think. Am I correct on that, James? Do you know that?
Lost to Miami.
Yeah. And they've been bad for quite some time, James.
Quinn Ewers.
Yeah. And look, and besides that, they have not, this is not 1 week, 2 weeks. This has been a couple of weeks now where they have not looked well at all. Carolina, even though to me, Tampa is playing at home, this is advantage Carolina, man. I think Carolina is going to win this game. Like I said, I'm going to ride with Tampa because I've been with them all year, and I'm not going to jump off now. But I think Carolina is going to go into Tampa, and I think they're going to beat Tampa because Tampa has not looked good to me. Todd Bowles has not figured out what the issue is to be able to ride this train right. And even though they're playing at home, I just think Carolina has been playing better, like you said. And I think they're going to go in there and they're going to beat them. Which then, let me ask you this: if Tampa loses, right, they're out. Is Todd Bowles gone?
He has to be. He has to be. He's been there since Bruce Arians left. And Bruce Arians left him with a solid defense.
Mm-hmm.
And your defense is regressing. Your offense is regressing. You got rid of Byron Leftwich as your offense coordinator. And you haven't had a decent offensive coordinator since Byron Leftwich left. And remember, Byron Leftwich was offensive coordinator with Tom Brady. So he knew the game, and Tampa Bay decided, and Todd Bowles decided not to resign him as the offensive coordinator. And then look at the offense.
Uh, yeah, I look, I like Todd Bowles, but I've heard you say before off record that he's a better coordinator than he is a head coach, and that's I think that's fair because he's only gotten Tampa to a certain point. Now Baker's played better when he got there, but they never really seem like they've been winning the division because the division has been so bad, right? Like it's been bad.
Right, right.
Carolina was down for a couple of years. New Orleans after
You
Breeze,
are.
so they were winning, but they were winning in a really bad division. So
Yeah.
now you're seeing Carolina come up, right? And like I told you before, Carolina's young. I mean, this is the future of this division. They'll win the next 5-7 years, right? Tampa's getting older, right? Their receivers are older. There's more injuries. Baker Mayfield's a little older. So this is Carolina maybe this year and the future. Tampa's gonna have to figure out what they're gonna do here. Todd Bowles, I think
Every
he does need to go too.
old Chris Godwin stay hurt.
They're
You know,
hurt a lot. Yeah.
it's time to blow that whole thing up. Keep the young receivers that they have from Ohio State and start looking for a Baker Mayfield replacement.
Yeah, and I like I said, I think if Todd Bowles comes back at best, this is what you're going to get from. You never get, I never get the feeling that Tampa is going to be in the NFC Championship. Never. It doesn't never
No,
feel
no,
that way to me, right?
no.
So I think Todd. What was that?
They light years away from going to NFC Championship. Light years away from going to NFC Championship.
Yeah, and I'm just not so sure Todd Bowles is the guy that can lead them there, right? Even if
I
they,
don't think
yeah.
Baker Mayfield is the quarterback that'll lead them there. To be honest,
Well, like I said, he was able to come in and really do good, but this is about as far as Baker's going to take you and
as
Todd
far as
Bowles.
he gonna go.
Yeah. So right now, James is taking Carolina. I'm taking Tampa. But like I said, I think Carolina, they got the advantage, even though Tampa's at home. I think Carolina's going to be able to pull this out. And wow, for Carolina, what a turnaround, right? Like Bryce Young is playing great. And this would be huge for them this year because no one really outside of James Johnson really thought they were going to win the division. Man, what did you see from Carolina early on that made you think that they were going to be at this point at this time?
I looked at they draft the young receiver McMillan, and they got a lot of young pieces on defense. I love their safeties. I love their cornerbacks. And I just knew that this year was going to be the year that Bryce Young turned the corner. And he's starting to turn that corner.
Oh, he's starting to turn the corner, that's for sure.
Turn the corner. They got Hubbard and Dowdale at the running backs. They got two good running backs. They got some good tight ends, and they're young. And I just felt that this was going to be the year that Bryce Young turned that corner and lead that team, to the division title.
Well, he's definitely doing that, and he's playing with confidence too. That's the other thing. Going into Tampa, he's playing with confidence. I mean, these boys think they can go in there. They think they can win the division. There's no waiting for tomorrow or next year. They know they can do it right now, and if they win the division,
When the week is over with, they'll be hosting a playoff game.
Playoff game, yeah, wow, right? Like great for the state of Carolina. I mean the state of North Carolina, yeah, North Carolina, and just the fans, right? They've been bad for such a long time, man. So to be able to not only win the division, but and get in the playoffs, but have a home playoff game there for your fans is huge, right? So definitely they
I don't
definitely
think they'll win the first playoff game, but I feel like they'll get there, and that'll be a building block for next year.
Oh, definitely, definitely. I mean, look, when we if they win the division, and even if they don't win the division, even if Tampa happens to win the division, right? Which I hope they do. Next year, when we do this again, I would pick Carolina because they're the future. I mean, we've seen enough from them already to think that they're going to be the future of that division.
No.
Yeah. So wow. So it's going to be great. So that's going to be the 3:30 game, and then we got another one, James, on Saturday, 7. That Jersey, your team, the Seattle Seahawks, traveling to San Francisco to take on those 49ers, man. I got to get your thoughts. I know who you're going with, but tell me why Seattle's going to win.
I got my Seattle shirt on, Gabe, for a reason. Hopefully to bring us some good luck. Mm-hmm. Because San Francisco is like our kryptonite, man. It is. I'm just being honest. We got over one kryptonite, which was, the Rams. So now we have to get over this other kryptonite, which is San Francisco. And we need to beat San Francisco. Sam Darnold needs to show me that he can win a big game, because this is a big game. This is for the division title. So this is a pressure game for Sam Darnold. So you need to show me in this pressure game against San Francisco for the division title that you can take us to the next step. This is the game. This is our playoff game.
It is. It is. And I create a post and talk about all these teams and give my thoughts on these teams. And I look at stats all the time, and so I'm putting stats up there about with the quarterbacks and how they're playing. And look, I love Seattle. Yeah, like I think Seattle has played better every week. They've had their ups and downs, but this team is legit in a very tough division with the 49ers, with the Rams, who the last couple of years, they've been the dominant, right? It's been Seattle and Arizona that's been at the bottom. Seattle climbed out of that bottom and said, hey, we can ride with you guys. We're right here. We're fighting. We could win the division. We could be the top dogs in this division over two good teams in the Rams that I think is the best team in the NFL, or thought they were, because they've had a couple of losses since in San Francisco. This is huge. But my question mark is Sam Darnold. It's, can he play big in these big moments? Like, he's on the road. So all the pressure's on Seattle, right? Like, he's going into San Francisco.
And this is for the division title.
And for a division title. Right. And he's got to play good, because if he plays lousy, even though they'll be in the playoffs, but if he plays lousy and loses this game and gets blown out, then he's the old Sam Darnold, right? Like he's the old Sam Darnold. Like he ain't changed. He can't win the big game. That has been the thing for him, right?
Sam Darnold.
Right. Now, let me ask you this. If he wins this game and plays well, are you going to be off his back? Are you finally going to say Sam Darnold is legit?
If we can go into San Francisco and win a division title, I'm going to ride with Sam Darnold to take us to the NFC Championship.
I think he can get
with the possibility of going to the Super Bowl.
I like the way you said that. I think if they beat the 49ers, look, I saw the game they played against the Rams, and they beat the Rams, right? So they've already, this is just the last couple of games. That was a great game, one of the best games I've seen in a long time, and they beat the Rams, right? So I saw that game. Did you see that game?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, there you go. So that was awesome to see. Even though he didn't have a great game, they won the game, right? Now, a couple weeks later, he's got to go to San Francisco. If he can get the win here and the Seahawks, there's no reason to believe they won't be in the NFC Championship. No reason to believe that unless they bomb a game, right?
This is a game that's gonna this game is a check and balances.
Okay, let me ask you this. And I believe if they win this game, they are the top seed in the NFC. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so that would mean that the playoffs would have to go through.
Gotta come through Seattle. They gotta come downtown.
Gotta come through Seattle. And so if that happens, now the advantage now he has all, because he's at home, and that is a tough place to play. Like, that is the toughest place to play in the NFL. Like, that crowd is loud. It's gonna be cold out there. Like, you don't want to go to Seattle, right? I think the advantage obviously is for the home team. So
had a rain. We're gonna pray to the rain gods. We got rain coming. We got a wind blowing. Just good old Washington State weather, man. We're gonna have in the playoffs.
Seattle, I don't know about the state of Washington, but Seattle's a beautiful city. I've been there before. It's a beautiful city.
I'm not from Seattle. I'm from Tacoma.
So, and the state, obviously, right? That's your home state. But I tell you, I went to Seattle. It was raining. It was cold when I went there. But it's a beautiful, beautiful city. And
that's gonna be when we if we can overcome the kryptonite of the 49ers, then you got to come to Pacific Northwest,
Mm-hmm.
Pacific. You got to come down, and when you down there, go visit Pike Place Market, get you some fish. Uh, Losing team.
Well, I tell you what, the Seahawks are coming off of a win last week over those Carolina Panthers and beat them pretty good 27-10. So we'll see what they can do here against San Francisco. For the 49ers, I want to get your thoughts. Brock Purdy played really good, right? Like this over this weekend, he was really dominant. That offense was dominant. They've got some injuries too. They've got some injuries to their offensive line. I don't know if Trent Williams is going to be back or what the case may be. But I do want to talk about the 49ers because the thing that impressed me in their last game was McCaffrey really ran the ball well, right? So that took a lot of pressure off of Brock Purdy to have to put the ball in his hands to throw to win the game. McCaffrey, I think, is the key. Can Seattle stop McCaffrey? Your thoughts on San Francisco and what you've seen from them this year?
Brock Purdy is going to have to beat Seattle. Jennings, Parasol, if George Kittle plays, Brock Purdy going to have to beat Seattle with his arm. McCaffrey, Seattle's front line is not having that. My defensive line is not having that. It's not happening. So Purdy going to have to beat us. You're going to have to throw the ball. And we got some young cornerbacks too. So you got to throw the ball. Because Christian McCaffrey is not going to beat us. It's not going to happen.
Right. And I would think that Seattle is going to try to stop the run first.
We're going to stop it. We're going to stop it. So Purdy got to beat us.
We'll see if he can do that. He'll be at home. But again, this is going to be a great game against two really good teams in the on Saturday that I'm going to be tuning into both, right? Like I don't even want to be disturbed. Like I'm going to come in, chips, dip, everything ready. We're going to watch Tampa and Carolina at 3:30, and then the game that follows after that starting at 7, Seattle and San Francisco. Both games have a lot of meaning, right? We'll see which team wins and which team does not. So, James, let's go over to Sunday now. We've got some matchups here this Sunday that aren't really meaningful, but we still got to go through them anyway. The first one, New Orleans, the Saints going to Atlanta. Atlanta gets that big win last night, Monday night, over the Rams, which was surprising to me because I had the Rams a couple of weeks ago as the best team in the NFL, and they've dropped 2. So I don't know where that stands. We'll talk about them when we get to the Rams. Before Atlanta, what's been your thoughts on Atlanta, right? Like, I think they've been disappointing this year. I expected better than what their record shows at going into week 18. I see.
Yeah, Gabe?
I see.
Okay. There we go. So you see it.
I see it loud. I see it clearly. Yeah, they're not worth talking about.
No, they're not. They're not.
I'm gonna make that prediction. I'm gonna say Atlanta. I'm gonna say Atlanta is gonna win because I like the surprisingly the win over the Rams. I think they can finish it off against a New Orleans team that's really struggled. Got a little bit better, but still struggling. I think Atlanta's the better team than New Orleans. So we'll see if Atlanta can win. Plus they're at home.
Even though it's a dollar bill game, I'm gonna take New Orleans.
Okay, New Orleans. You're gonna take New Orleans. All right, I'm gonna take Atlanta. Let's go to the next game, another 12 o'clock game. The Cleveland Browns taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Who do you got?
I'm going on a limb. I'm gonna take Cleveland.
Of course, I know you. I know you love Shador. How's Shador? So
I like Cleveland's defense.
There you are.
And you know I'm a Shador fan.
Oh, I am too. I like I said, I think Shador. I'm glad he's getting this opportunity. I mean, you said that you thought he'd get an opportunity toward the end of the season, and he has. And I'm glad that Stefanski has stuck with him because obviously he's the best. He's the best quarterback you got right now, right? So he should be playing, and he is. Now let me ask you this, because this Cincinnati defense, the power for Cincinnati is on the offensive side, which is going to be, this game has no meaning because both of these teams are out of the playoffs. But Cleveland, like James said, their defense is really legit. And that offense for Cincinnati is pretty darn good. And they're all healthy. Joe Burrow's healthy. They got Jamar Chase and Higgins. So that matchup with the offense and the defense is going to be worth watching. But that defense for Cincinnati, James, is really bad. Do you think Shador is going to have a big game versus that defense?
Shador having 300 350 plus yards and 2.7 touchdowns.
Ooh, I think he could reach the 300. I do against that Cincinnati defense, which is one of the worst in the league. Shador should have a big game. Let's hope he has a big game. Obviously, we'll come back to recap that, but I'm going to agree with you. I think Shador is set. This is all feeling like Shador should have a big game against one of the worst defenses in the league in the Bengals. So let's see what happens. You're taking Cleveland. I'm going to take Cincinnati.
Hey,
I love
Cincinnati.
Huh?
The Battle of Ohio.
The Battle of Ohio.
Over Cincinnati.
But you're going Cleveland, correct?
Cleveland. Over Cincinnati.
I'm going Cincinnati. I like that. I like Joe. You know, I'm a Joe Burrow fan. I mean, I'm a Shador fan, but I'm a Joe Burrow fan. Not so much a Bengal fan, but I love Joe Burrow. I like the way he played in college. Not the way he beat my Longhorns, but the way.
Now, Gary get the sack record against Cleveland.
Yeah, and that's another thing. He's playing for that as well. So let's see. For this team, for this game to not, I'll tell you, James, for this game to not have playoff implications, there's a lot of things that's very interesting about this game, right? That you and I both want to watch.
That game is the future of the division.
Yes, I believe it could be. Mm-hmm. Absolutely right. Absolutely. And in another podcast we'll talk about because Watson. And James and I have talked off air, Deshaun Watson will be back at Cleveland. So what will happen to that Shador? Well, they're paying him a lot of money. Will he be starting next year? He should be healthy enough for Cleveland. Or will Shador Sanders?
He's gonna be like Kirk Cousins.
Huh?
A highly paid backup.
Okay. But okay, let's hope Shador has impressed Stefanski enough to say, hey, we're going to start you over Watson.
Be at Cleveland next year.
What was that?
Stefanski might not even be at Cleveland next year. From what I've been hearing and been watching.
That's true. I think they have to evaluate. He definitely needs to be evaluated. He should be looked at, obviously. Now, whether they're going to fire him or not, they definitely have to be looking at their options at quarterback. Like they're looking at the quarterback position, they need to be looking at the coach as well. Yes?
Yeah, he needs to go, man. He needs to go.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. That's going to be interesting. And we're definitely going to be talking about that as well. Green Bay, another 12 o'clock, traveling to Minnesota. Now, I would have thought that Green Bay automatically would have had this, but with Jordan Love hurt, by the way, I like Malik Willis. Is that his name, Willis?
Yeah, Malik Willis, yes.
Well, I tell you, James, I know you and I talk. Listen, I made a statement to James that's probably out there, but I'm going to stick with it. I like him better than Jordan Love. And James, oh, man, you crazy, man. You crazy. But I did tell you that. But James, he's impressive, man. He can run. Look, he puts a lot of pressure on that defense. I know Jordan Love does too. And Jordan Love has been hurt. So he hasn't been healthy to his credit, right? He has not been healthy for most of this year. But I didn't think Willis, I didn't know who he was until he started playing. This guy has the tools, James. I know you said as a backup. Do you see him being a starter at all in the NFL?
He's not going to overtake Jordan Love at that quarterback position. He's good, but he's not better than Jordan Love.
Okay.
He's not. He's good. He's a good scrambler. He got a good arm. He's a good backup, man. He's a good backup.
But not a starter.
Not a starter. He's a good backup.
Okay, I tell you.
When you 2 or 3 games, but I just don't see him as a starter in the NFL.
Okay, that's fair. I like his style of play. I think he puts a lot of pressure on the defenses. I mean, the thing that really impressed me about him is he's not scared. He's not scared to throw the ball. He's not scared to run the ball. It's like when I was watching him play, I said, man, this guy, he's been doing it all his life, right? Like he just comes in. Some quarterbacks come in nervous. They're scared to throw the ball. This guy showed none of that. He was ready to go. He was running when he needed to run. He was seeing the defense really, really well. And I thought, wow, confidence is the first thing that struck out to me, man. This kid has confidence. He knows he can go out there and play really good.
LaFleur, man. LaFleur has a great game plan. Game plan, man. So, he's going to be all right, but he's good to win you 2 or 3 games, and Jordan Love will be back in there.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. And look, and so Green Bay's got still something to play for. Minnesota does not. Who do you? Is Green Bay already in the playoffs?
No, they no. I think you know what I think they are because Detroit lost.
Detroit lost, right? So
They lost.
Chicago won the division. So two
Mm.
teams are going out of that division because I know Chicago's already in. They've already won the division, but I
But
thought
Green Bay has to win.
Yeah, Green Bay has to win. Okay.
Yes.
So who do you have here with Willis starting? Obviously,
I'm
Jordan
gonna
Love. I
take
haven't read to
Green Bay.
this point.
I'm gonna take Green Bay.
I'm gonna take Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Green Bay.
Um, man, James. Let's look at this here real quick. Green Bay or let me see. Green Bay. I like Willis. Minnesota has nothing to play for, but they're gonna. They've got. So the Vikings Thursday beat the Lions 23-10. Green Bay, I think, lost, correct?
Yeah, they lost.
I'm looking for them. Yeah, they lost to the Ravens. They got whipped pretty bad, 41-24. I'm gonna go with Green Bay like you, James, because they've got more to play for. I think they're gonna be refocused. So I think I gotta go with Green Bay because I think you know
Green,
Minnesota. So I'm gonna go with Green Bay like you.
I'm gonna take Green Bay in that game.
All right, so I'm taking Green Bay. We're both taking Green Bay. We'll go to the next 12 o'clock game, and that's my Dallas Cowboys disappointing. Oh, by the way, Trayvon Diggs is out. Did you read that?
There's something about they getting rid of him.
Yeah, Dallas. It was reported by one of the reporters that I follow, Adam Schefter, that Dallas they have released Trayvon Diggs. Let me tell you something. He needed to go. You and I had talked about that, right? So we both agreed that that was a great move by the Cowboys to just release him.
That's a great move by the Cowboys.
Yes, yes, yes,
That's
man.
a great move by the Cowboys. I'm just, Diggs, he had one good season where he caught a bunch of interceptions, but even during that season, he was still getting burned.
Well, yes, and then James, he didn't even play this year, and it wasn't even a football related injury. I think it was an injury of
Yeah.
home I read or something. So paying all that money and you're not even on the field to help.
That was a move by the Cowboys to release him.
Yeah.
And they need to release that other cornerback, Bland. They need to release him too. Or try to trade him because they paid him too. So they need to try to trade him and see what kind of assets they can get for him.
Well, we'll see what they do. Now, the other Diggs is in a lot of problems too. Stephon Diggs, right? Like, have you read about him? He's got a lot of stuff going on with him as well. So he's in a lot of trouble as well. So not a great day for the Diggs, right? As far as the reporting on what they're talking about. So Trevon gone, according to reports. We'll see what Dallas does. So that's a move I thought they needed to make, and so I'm glad to see that it is done.
Yeah, they
Uh,
need to make that move. They need to make that move last year.
Yeah, they're a little late, but I'm glad that they did it now. They're going to take on one of the worst teams in the league, the New York Giants. Look, I have Dallas winning this game. The Dallas should win, should finish off the season. This deserves a dollar bill on the screen, obviously, because these both teams with Dallas underperformed. There you go. And New York, New York, we knew New York was going to be bad when during the preseason, even before the preseason. Like you and I knew they were going to be bad, right? But we thought that Dallas was going to be able to at least compete. They underperformed. The defense was horrible. It got worse in the middle of the season, and then they got a little bit better toward the end of the season, but not good enough to win. So for Dallas, I say there was some good some highlights when they beat Kansas City and they beat what was it Philadelphia. But then they drop back and become the old Cowboys, right? Where we can't win when we're supposed to, and a team like Minnesota and JJ McCarthy comes in and
Yeah,
really puts it to us. There's always a game every year. There's always a game like that happens like that to the Cowboys at home, correct?
always.
Always. So anyway, I'm gonna pick Dallas. Do you want to pick this because you put the dollar up?
To me, to be honest, I think the Cowboys should shut down CD, shut down Pickens, shut down Dak. Shut them down, man. Don't go. Okay, your season is over with.
It's over.
So I think they should shut them guys down. If they shut them guys down, I look at the Giants winning that game. Only if the Cowboys play it smart and shut down your stars. because
Yeah,
you're not going nowhere.
yeah, I can see what you're saying. You definitely don't want a major injury toward the end of the season for Dak or any of those players, right? Because you can still obviously get hurt. There's no reason to do that because if
Let
they
them
were
down,
to
man.
tear an ACL or
It's
something like
next year.
that would happen, they'd be out next year. So from that standpoint, I definitely understand what you're saying. Don't play him. What is the point? Even if you win this game,
You're not going nowhere.
your season's done. I
Let's
I would
take
not
it.
let these guys play and give give your other guys a chance to play start to end and see what they can do in a game like this against New York.
Yes.
I'm gonna
Look
stick
at
with Dallas. I'm gonna stick with Dallas, even if they don't start, even if they sit their starters down. But I'm leaning toward what you're saying a lot in that makes the more sense for Shotty to say, look, there's really no reason to play Dak or Pickens or CD Lamb or any of the starters, right? And take a chance
there's no reason.
in an injury. Let's the season's over. Let's shut them down.
Hold them up.
Yeah, yeah, that definitely makes a lot of sense. Well, let's see if Schottenheimer would do that. That does make the most sense to me from the standpoint of injuries, but we'll see what Dallas has done. Dallas don't always make the right decisions, James. So
They really don't.
we'll see what happens. I mean, yeah. So we'll see what happens. But that definitely, now that you're saying that, that makes a lot of sense going into this game. Why start these guys? Another 12 o'clock game. Tennessee, the Titans are taking on Jacksonville. Man, Jacksonville is going to be in the playoffs. And they might,
They starters.
yeah. No reason to play them, right? They've already won. Well, no, are they still playing for the division, Houston and Jacksonville, or has Jacksonville clinched the division?
Houston's a game behind Jacksonville.
Okay, so
If they play their starters, they'll blow Tennessee out the first half and sit the starters. Get ready for the playoffs.
but if Jacksonville lost and Houston won, would Houston still win the division? You know?
Houston could win it. I think so. I think they have not.
Okay.
Don't quote me on this, but I think if Jacksonville loses to Tennessee,
And Houston wins.
I think Houston win the division.
Yeah. So Jacksonville's got something to play for. I'm taking Jacksonville. I mean, and
Yeah,
I
most definitely.
and
Most
I
definitely taking Jacksonville.
yeah, and I mean, it's just I'm not a Jaguar fan, but I don't dislike Jacksonville. But I'm glad to see that they are winning because it makes the division more competitive. Houston and them going at it all season long than for Jacksonville not to be good. So it makes the competition better to watch football when Jacksonville obviously is playing well. Look, these two teams, Jacksonville and Houston, I'm sure. Look, I'm going Jacksonville. I don't see Jacksonville losing to Tennessee, especially in the last couple of weeks. The way Jacksonville's been playing, like I don't see any.
I for fourth and Pirates over Tennessee.
You got what?
I take the Rockport fourth and Pirates over Tennessee.
Well, hey man, the Pirates had a great season. So yeah, I think we went deep in the playoffs this year. I think we could give Tennessee a run. Yes, if the Pirates were playing them. That good point.
Yeah.
But James, Jacksonville, man, have you been surprised this year by the way that Trevor Lawrence has played under this new coach that they've had?
Lawrence family got him a coach that know how to groom quarterbacks.
Yes, yes.
That's what he needed, man. He's a quarterback, man. He needed somebody to groom him and mentor him.
Boy, they definitely doing that.
Right, right plays, and that coach, man, he got it buzzing right now, man. This is who Trevor Lawrence is supposed to be.
Yes, he should have been. And it also shows you what a quarterback can do if he's in the right situation with the right coach leading him.
He got it, and they buzzing.
Yeah, definitely. Wow, that's awesome to see.
And
So we both got Jacksonville over Tennessee winning that. I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see Jacksonville in the playoffs and see how far they can go. How far do you think this Jacksonville team can go in the playoffs?
With the way Jacksonville playing, man, they can possibly be. Depends on how the seeding is. It could be a Jacksonville, Houston Texans AFC championship.
I'm thinking, that would be good. That would be really, really good.
Yeah, I'm thinking it could be. I'm looking at other teams that's really in the AFC. I don't, I really don't have no confidence in Buffalo because y'all don't have no receivers. I don't. I look at Denver. I don't trust Bo Nix, and they don't have no great receivers. I look at the Chargers. No, I don't see them. I said it could be a Texas team could be in a championship for the first time in how long?
A long time.
Exactly.
A long time.
Since
And
since the Cowboys, right?
yeah, which has been a long, long time, right? Yeah. But it would be nice for the city of Houston for football. I mean, we
Hey,
won the World Series with the Astros here recently. And of course the Rockets, they're in the playoffs and they're on their way up. It's been a while since they won. But in football, I don't know that it's ever happened. Even going back to when the Oilers were there, right? So
even with Deshaun Watson was D Hop, y'all made it, but y'all
not
didn't make the AFC championship because you let Kansas City come back and beat you.
right, right. We've lost some tough ones. I say
Yeah.
we because I'm from Texas, but
So
yeah,
that's what I'm
we
looking at.
got yeah. I mean, that would be really good, and we may see that. But we're both taking Jacksonville in this over Tennessee. I don't see what I'd be really shocked if Tennessee beat Jacksonville, but I don't think that's going to happen. Next game, 12 o'clock, Indianapolis, with 44-year-old Philip Rivers, who has come out to say that he's done. Right, like I don't even think he's going to play this last game. I think he's already done. He's going back to coaching on the sideline in high school. So I think I read, James, where he's not even going to play in this game, right? The last game. They've already talked about his stats. I think that's what I read. I could be wrong, but I think that's what I read while I
He
was at work.
really came back and really seen that this game has changed.
I
These
look,
guys are bigger. These guys are faster.
but I don't think he did bad. I mean, he didn't win a game, but I didn't think they were going to win with whether he came back or they had somebody else, right? Like I don't even think that Daniel Jones could have won these games for him if he been healthy. They
They
were they were going down the stretch where these three
could have
teams
won
were tough.
a couple of games, but
You think so?
yeah, I think they could have won a couple of games. But Philip Rivers, he came back and made what I'm saying, $250,000 for a few games. You did that, which nothing wrong with that, man. That's more money for your family. And I
Absolutely.
did it. But I never thought that you was gonna take them to the playoffs.
Well, I don't think he thought. I don't think he thought that he could do that either. But I think sometimes you want to prove, can I still play this game? Not at the level that he played it before, but I'm telling you, he did a lot better than I thought he was going to do.
Philip Rivers, when you was young, you never went deep in the playoffs.
No, but he could play the game, right?
Deep
I
in
mean,
the playoffs, old.
yeah. But I think for 44 years old, I think he did good for his age and coming in and not
How
playing.
old was Brady when he won the Super Bowl?
I don't. He was in his. I think the last one might have been in his early 40s, late 30s, right?
No, he's like 42, 43.
Okay. But Brady had been playing every year. Brady didn't take, 4 or 5 years off and then come back. He stayed, I mean, he was
They
consistently playing, even though he was aging, but he was playing every year. He was within
yeah,
the system.
went deep in the playoffs when you was young, quarterback in the Chargers. You didn't go deep in the playoffs then.
Right, right. And no one's saying that he was a great quarterback. And obviously he wasn't, but to have been out of the league and I mean, because
Yeah,
it's one thing.
4 years.
Yeah, it's one thing to throw the ball, but it's another thing after a long retirement. And then you just come, not even at the beginning of the season, I'm coming right in. I sign and you're starting. Like you have a week, you have 5 days, 6 days
Yeah.
to start. He played pretty good
I just
considering.
I think there was I don't know who they are, but I think there was better options.
Oh, there was. There
Uh
was. There
44
was.
year old dude who hasn't played in 4 years, came back with a belly bigger than mine, playing
Yes.
quarterback. I just think it was better options for the coach. I think it was better options for him.
Well, there was better options. You and I have talked off air about some of the options of people,
I
players
don't
that
want
are still that are in better shape, younger, and could play, and they chose to go a
yeah.
different route, right? But there's a relationship, there's
That's
a
crazy.
friendship. Yeah,
That was
there's
crazy.
some type of football relationship or
Now
friendship.
that shows you the good old boy system,
Oh yeah,
and that's all it shows you. The good old boy system.
yeah. Head coach and Rivers have a friendship.
NFL.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
we're gonna make sure our white guys still play.
yeah. That
This
definitely played.
there's way better, way quarterback options than Phillip Rivers, man.
There was. I'm not gonna disagree there. There was,
That was crazy.
but you know, Philip Rivers came back, played better than I thought he was gonna play, but still,
He
they never
played
had a shot.
terrible, man. I knew he was gonna play terrible, and I'm gonna continue to say he played terrible. He ain't do nothing. The man couldn't throw the ball 30 yards downfield.
No, but he got some touchdowns, better than what I thought he was going to do, right? And regardless of whether he can throw, he got the ball in the end zone. There's many ways to get the ball in the end zone. He got the ball in the end zone. He didn't perform well at all, but he didn't play as bad in my mind as I thought. I thought this was going to be a disaster. I thought he wasn't even going to play. I thought he was going to get hurt. I thought, like, man, this guy's crazy to come back. He made it through 3 games. His stats were nowhere near what they needed to be, and he definitely didn't play great. But for his age and his circumstances, were the way he came in and he had to get in there real quick and learn that system, I thought he did good for being put in the position he was put in there to go out there and play against some defenses that, boy, they were pretty
Jim
good.
Plunkett won a Super Bowl. He was almost 50.
What was that?
Jim Plunkett won a Super Bowl and he was almost 50.
Yeah, but he was playing in the early '80s, where it wasn't like it is now. It was I'm not saying the teams weren't good back then, because I know some players that were awesome, but it wasn't nowhere near what we see in the NFL.
Yes, when I seen Phillip Rivers, man, I just laughed, man.
Yeah.
You have always been a average quarterback.
That's
Yeah,
true. That's true.
average quarterback, and for the Chargers, and you had good teams with LT and Gates, and you still couldn't do nothing.
True.
So then they had you got Hall of Famers on your team, and you still couldn't do nothing.
Yeah, he was average at best. You're absolutely right there.
Average quarterback. That's it.
Yeah. So it never made sense why he wanted to come back. But like I said, he made some money, which is
Made
nothing
$1
wrong with
million
that. Right?
dollars.
Made some money.
3 games.
Yeah, feed my family, no problem. And the main thing to me is, you know what? He's healthy. He left this game. I think this was his last game. I don't think he's going to play, like I said, this last game in week 18. So he didn't get hurt. That was the main thing. He wasn't injured. So, he's come out and said, I'm done. And this time I'm done for good. So good for him. Let's hope Indianapolis finds their future quarterback for
They
next
got
year.
it, Anthony Richardson. They got it.
I hope so. I hope he's the guy. I hope they can play, because so far he's been a disappointment. Correct? You would agree with that? So far he's been a disappointment, right?
Yeah, but hopefully this coach can coach him up. They said Bryce Young was a disappointment. Look what he's doing 3 years later.
Yep. A coach can definitely change. A coach can definitely change. So let's hope that this coach is a coach that can.
First couple of years, Peyton Manning was terrible for the coach. First couple of years, coach throwing interceptions all over the place.
Yeah, but he wasn't bad in college. He wasn't bad. He wasn't bad. And the thing I think with Richardson is this, right? He didn't have a lot of playing time, and I think the coach knew that when they drafted him.
They get legs up on him.
Yeah, he didn't have a lot of playing time in college.
That's quarterback.
Right. He didn't have a lot of time playing. So it's going to take him some time to get you. But I hope he gets another chance, because the potential that they say this guy has and the way he can throw that ball is something like we've never seen before, right?
Yeah, he's gonna get his chance, man. But he had a chance to sit back and watch Daniel Jones and watch the way he operated, and he learned. He had to sit back. He had to sit back this year and learn.
Yeah.
And really watch the game from the sidelines the whole year. So he's gonna be all right. He's gonna be the franchise quarterback, and he's gonna be the quarterback to lead him to some great games, some good and great records. I don't know. So,
I'm rooting for him.
He'll lead them to the playoffs.
I'm definitely rooting for him. I hope he gets a shot. Next game, you got those Houston Texans playing at home against Indianapolis. We talked about that. So I got Houston. Who do you got?
Yeah, no doubt. Houston.
No doubt, Houston. Absolutely.
No doubt, Houston.
Yeah. And then for the afternoon games, we'll go to the afternoon games now. And the first one, you got those disappointing New York Jets. Wow. They bring in Coach Aaron Glenn, and I like Aaron Glenn, but boy, he didn't do any better in his first year than they did last year, taking on Buffalo. What you got to say about this game, James?
Game stop. We already know Buffalo gonna blow them out, but defending Aaron Glenn, you have to. The New York Jets organization hasn't really been a winning organization in years.
True.
I think the last winning season they had was with garbage head coach Rex Ryan. He is garbage. The only thing Rex Ryan known for is the butt fumble. You call the play for the butt fumble. I think that was the last time they had a winning season, man. They in a they got a dysfunctional organization. The president, the owner, the general managers. You guys just earning free money, man, because you don't know how to evaluate talent.
They don't. They don't know how to evaluate
Evaluate,
talent. That's true.
you don't.
And the Jets, look, when you bring in a new coach, what you're hoping for is you see an improvement, right? Like if I was the owner of a football team and hired a new coach, the one thing I want to see is improvement. I know we're probably not going to make the playoffs. I know we're probably not in the first year, but I want to see improvement. Dan James, I don't know that you can say that about the New York Jets this year.
It
They probably got worse than last year, if you can even get worse than what they were last year.
depends on what moves the organization made, because I can go to Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell first season he won one game.
Mm-hmm.
But the organization, the Lions organization made some good coaching changes. Made some good draft picks. I think that's what Aaron Glenn need in New York. I don't feel like I gave Justin Fields every opportunity to succeed at a quarterback, and I think he's young, but I think he needs to switch to tight end. Stay in the NFL. I mean, he switched
Justin
tight.
Fields?
Yeah,
Well,
he needs to. You had every opportunity, man. Come on, man. You were the Jets. You had your college buddy, Garrett Wilson. You got Brees Hall, and you still can't succeed. They can't. Come on, man. What is it? I understand you had Eberflus or whatever in Chicago, and you can succeed. Understandable. You come to a new organization with to me a great young running back, and a great young receiver in Garrett Wilson, and you still couldn't improve from what you did in Chicago.
no, no, they didn't improve. And look,
It didn't improve.
I'm gonna say this because I truly believe this. I don't think Aaron Glenn will get fired this year, right? They're gonna give him more time, but he's definitely feeling some pressure. He's got to get this organization right because this year was a disaster,
It
and
was a disaster, man.
and being the head
Justin
coach.
Fields, Justin Fields, he really disappointed me, man.
Hmm?
Because I've been riding with him, like, man, they ain't got the offense set up for him. He's not a pocket passer. He got to use his legs and make the right throws even on the run. And I was like, he's just an athletic quarterback, man. Just let him be Justin Fields. And Aaron Glenn did that for the Jets, and you still didn't succeed.
Oh, he didn't
Still
succeed.
did nothing. You was having games where you only passed, bro. You've been in the league 4 years. How do you pass for 56 yards in an entire football game? How do you do that, Gabe?
Yeah, he's awful, James. I mean, he's. I mean, I don't know how many. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, in
Oh,
Pittsburgh,
you
when we
need
saw him, when we saw him,
use your athleticism, change positions and be a great tight end, be a Shannon Sharp.
well, in Pittsburgh,
Not a quarterback.
when he
You
started
know,
in Pittsburgh,
quarterback.
when he started those first game, when he started those first games in Pittsburgh, he won, right? So I don't know if he was looking good, but definitely against the Jets. man, he just didn't do much. And for Aaron Glenn, I mean, he's the head coach, so we all know head coaches they take the fall when the team doesn't go good. I just feel like next year Aaron Glenn has to get off to a great start because if he gets off to a bad start and goes like 1-5 to start off the season, he may
He
not finish the
probably,
season next year.
he'd probably be fired.
You're right. Right. Like I don't think they're gonna let him go now because they got to give him an opportunity, right? But he's got to feel the pressure in the offseason because if he starts off bad 1-5, something like that where he's not winning, I don't think he survives the season. I think they do a firing. And so he's got some pressure this offseason to fix.
They're gonna be for the next year the Arch Manning's lottery begins.
Well, our Arch wasn't well impressive, dude. I'm an Arch Manning and Texas Longhorn fan, but he didn't impress me this year either. So he's got some work to do in college before I
That's
think he can play in the NFL.
because the Jets, your quarterback situation with Tyrod Taylor, Justin Fields, and this Campbell guy, just I don't see nobody that's coming out of college that I see right now who can be a franchise quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's got to look at Aaron Glenn's got to look at, first of all, my coordinators and do I got the right coordinators, right? Do I got the right offense and defensive coordinators, right? Like I don't know how much Aaron Glenn is involved in the defense, but that's the first thing.
He has to because he's defensive coach. But they got a bunch of draft picks though. Don't think what they gave. They got a bunch of draft picks, first round draft picks.
Right, and he's got to pick right because I don't think he has a lot of time. Like I don't think he has to win next year and get in the playoffs, but he can't have a season.
Got to improve.
Yeah, when I say that I don't mean when I talk about him if he doesn't get to the playoffs, he's done. I'm saying if he don't get to the playoffs or if he's close at the end of the season, he's okay, I think. But he can't have another season like this because if it starts out rough, yeah.
You got I think a win for the Jets next year is 6 games.
He's got to win. He's got to improve.
I look at 6 games is a stepping stone for the New York Jets.
He might have to win a couple more than that, but yeah, 6 may be.
I think 6 games. Second year, 6 games. You just got to take the path of Dan Campbell. He won 1 game his first year. I think second year they won like 5 or 6 games. It's just gonna take time, man. These owners have to understand that, man. If you don't have the talent on your team, you're not gonna win.
That's the other thing, yeah. That's the other thing. They don't have a quarterback right now, but Aaron Glenn has to figure out what he's going to do at that quarterback position.
I don't know franchise quarterback in the draft in college right now. I don't see none.
Well, if it's gonna be Justin Fields next year, he needs to figure out a way to put him in a place in a position to succeed. Because
like what I said, using you as a tight end, I'm gonna give you 1 more year, man. If you don't succeed next year, you need to change positions.
Yeah,
me too. Change to stay in the field because if you don't, if they cut you, nobody's gonna pick you up.
Well, probably not. But then, yeah, you never know. But we're both going Buffalo in this game against the Jets, who have had a really bad season. Let's go to the next afternoon game, and that's Detroit, already out of the playoffs. Don't have a chance no matter what happens in this game. But it is a division game, so I'm sure Detroit's going to play tough to play spoiler over the Chicago Bears, who are playing at home. They have already won the division, so I don't know what Ben Johnson
play. So I'm gonna take Detroit.
Yeah, I don't know how much Ben Johnson you're going to see Williams and those stars play because they've already won the division.
So why would they play him?
Yeah, so I'm gonna take Detroit too because Detroit is just about scoring as many points as you can to end the season. Chicago, I don't see much of the starters playing because they're playing for nothing. They've already won the division. They already got.
I don't. I'm an NFL coach, but I don't think it'll be a good idea. I think these guys have had a long season.
Give them a rest.
Vision. I think those guys rest those guys and get ready to make their push in the playoffs.
Absolutely. Now, your thoughts on Ben Johnson, first year.
Oh, great.
Let's just how good of a coach is Ben Johnson? Well, I was high on Ben Johnson.
He's up there with all the young coaches in the NFL right now. You know the
And
Minnesota coach. He's up there with him, man. You know the McVays. These young coaches that was coordinators that are coaches. And I look at Ben Johnson, man. Hey, man. Shout out to him. Kudos to him. I salute Ben Johnson, man, because you turned around a franchise who has been in the cellar, in the gutter for years, and you did it in 1 year.
1 year,
Again,
and not to mention did he pick up Chicago, but look at Detroit. Look at where Detroit is. Detroit didn't even make the playoffs, right? They struggled, right? And I think when you and I said this, how because I knew Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn played such a vital role with Campbell in the success of the Detroit Lions. So when you lose one coordinator, that's tough. But when you lose two to head coaching jobs, were the Lions going to drop? That was the question I had when I found out that Glenn and Ben Johnson. I said, are they going to be able to still be the Detroit Lions? And this year, absolutely not. So do they miss Ben Johnson in Detroit? Absolutely. When you look at the way Detroit performed this year, and they did not make the playoffs after what they had done the last year, and then you go see Ben Johnson go to Chicago, and he takes the team that was at the bottom last year, and now they're at the very top. Absolutely.
1 year.
Absolutely. And
Another
then
question, Dan Campbell, you told a lie on national television, Dan Campbell. I remember what you said.
What'd he say?
When they asked you, does Ben Johnson leaving Detroit for Chicago, hurts your offense? And Dan Campbell said, I was always part of the offense.
Yeah, you were sitting there listening to Ben Johnson. That's how he was part of the offense.
So you told that lie.
Yeah. You were in the room listening to Ben Johnson. Yeah.
It's offense.
Yeah.
I guess you wasn't part of the offense.
No, he was sitting there listening to Ben Johnson. Look, the proof is in the pudding. Like I love Dan Campbell. I do. I don't dislike him, but I'm just saying that
Dan Campbell because he's a ex-cowboy. Come on, Gabe.
Well, that's part of it. That's part of it. That's part of it.
Come on, Gabe.
That's part of it. But I think we all knew, like Ben Johnson was the brain behind that offense, and now the proof's in the pudding because of what he's done to Chicago. He went to a team that was really bad for a very long time.
That was bad.
He didn't go to a good team. He went to a team that had been bad for years, right? They have been bad. They've had coach after coach after coach, and they've seen minimal success, and then they drop. This guy in 1 year took this team that couldn't win more than 4 or 5 games, I think, and he took them to the top of the division, win the division in year 1.
And really got a chance to be honest with you, they got a chance to play in the NFC Championship.
Well, they just played San Francisco and they lost, but you saw one play. They were right there inside. They were right there to win it.
They have a chance to be there, man. Yeah. The NFC, remember at the beginning of the year, me and you, we was all on the AFC. Man, the AFC, man, they got the best quarterbacks, man. Mm-hmm. They're going to be good. I mean, we talked about that all year.
Yep.
And look what happened. The NFC is the powerhouse of the NFL, man.
NFC is the powerhouse. Chicago didn't see I didn't see Chicago or Seattle coming. I think you and I,
I knew we got Sam Darnold, man, but I didn't look at. I was thinking maybe we win like 8-9 games.
Yeah, and look at you now.
Where we at? Shout out to the Hawks, man. This is a Russell Wilson jersey. I'm always wear this because Russell Wilson brought us our first Super Bowl. I'm always gonna wear Russell Wilson.
Hey, you shine it, man. It's deserved. My cowboy gear is locked up where it needs to be because it can't come out this year because we deserve it. So I can't wear the cap. I can't do anything.
I can put his number 3 out.
Though. Absolutely. And look, it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to seeing Chicago. I'm rooting for the Bears. I'm looking to see. I'm a Ben Johnson fan. I love the way he coaches. I hope that they will have some success.
It'll be even better next year.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Chicago gonna be a force to reckon with in the NFC, bro. Everybody better get prepared because they coming.
They're coming. They got one of the best coaches already in the NFL in Ben Johnson. So let's go to the next.
Refrigerator Perry got a retirement.
Who's that?
Refrigerator Perry.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh God, yes. Um, so the next afternoon game, we got the Chargers, the Los Angeles Chargers at Denver. Now you're not big on Denver. Both of these teams are in the playoffs. Both of these teams are going to be in the playoffs. So we're going to see both of them when the postseason starts. But you're not really high on Denver, right? Like you're not really high on Bo Nix. And the other part of that, James, is, and I know you left the screen here, but I'll go ahead and finish it off if he doesn't come back. So I'll just say this because James has told me, right, he's not big on Bo Nix, but he's really not big on the defense for Denver either. And I wanted to ask him why he's not, because to me that defense for Denver, I don't think they're better than Houston's defense, but I think they're one of the elite defenses in the NFL. So I wanted to ask James why he didn't think that Denver was one of those elite defense, or maybe he does. He just doesn't have him in front of Houston. But if he comes back on the screen, I'll definitely ask him that question. Maybe his phone or the charger died out. That's what happened last time, because we say we're going to go like about 30-40 minutes and we end up going over an hour. So if he doesn't come back, I'll quickly finish out the picks like I did the last time. But the Chargers going into Denver to play the Broncos. The Chargers, both of these teams are going to be in the playoffs. I'm taking Denver in this game because they're at home. It's tough to beat Denver in Denver. I think they play better at home, even though that hasn't always been the case. I'm taking the Broncos to win over the Chargers, but it's going to be nice to see both of these teams play each other, or not each other, because I think they're in the AFC. The Chargers are in the AFC, and the Broncos. So both of them are going to be in the playoffs. We'll see how all this plays out in the playoffs. And then the next game, 325, you've got the Kansas City Chiefs. We know already about the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is out. Most of their starters are out. So watching them, it's minimal. What are we going to get from Kansas City? Not much, but they're going to play a team that they're probably going to beat in the Las Vegas Raiders, right? So for me, I want to see the Raiders go out with a win. I do. I want to see the Raiders. They're playing at home, so I'm gonna take the Raiders, even though the Raiders could get the first pick. I don't know if you're Los Angeles that you want to. I mean, Las Vegas. I don't know that you want to win this game. You should try to win, but there's a big advantage if you don't win this game, because then you could get the number one pick in next year's draft. So I don't know how they're playing. I mean, Pete Carroll comes out and players come out and say all the right things, right? We want to win. We're going to win. We play to win and all that. And I understand all of that, but you're also probably not going to get the first pick, which is usually a quarterback that you try to pick. So I don't know if there's someone that they want there. So I don't know what all that looks like or what they're planning. But Kansas City, obviously, without Mahomes, isn't the same Kansas City, but they've got other injuries as well. So for me, I'm going to take Las Vegas to win. But I if I was them, I'd probably try to lose the game. I don't know, like I said, because there's something for them in it if they don't win this game. But we'll see how all that plays out. I'm going to take Las Vegas Raiders in this game. Over Kansas City. And then I'm going to take the Los Angeles Rams over the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona's been bad. They've had a lot of injuries. Kyler Murray has not been healthy full season for quite some time there with Arizona. There's been some disappointment. I question if that coach is going to come back next year because in a few years here that he's been there, it's been a very disappointing for Arizona. I think they're athletically they've got some great players out there. They don't play to the potential that I think they can play. For the Los Angeles Rams, they've lost the last two games. I was really shocked that Atlanta beat them last night. I didn't see that happening, but I still think they're one of the best teams. I don't know if they're the best team today. About 2 weeks ago, I thought they were, but losing these two games, I don't know that they're better now than San Francisco. I don't know that they're better than Seattle. We saw Seattle beat them. So now losing to Atlanta, I got a lot of questions. I like this team. I want this team to go to the Super Bowl and win it again. I don't know if they can get there. They're just not playing very good at this time. So we'll see how all that plays out. But I'm taking them. I think they'll be able to get back on the winning side when they play Arizona on Sunday. And then the other afternoon game on Sunday, you got Miami, who's playing a lot better now. Taking on New England. This is going to be because Miami's been playing a little bit better this is probably a game I'll pay a little attention to. I'm not sure if I'll watch it from start to end because I'm not really a fan of the Patriots. I don't have nothing against Miami. Back in the day, I loved Don Shula and Dan Marino, but that was a long, long time ago. But I don't have anything against the Dolphins. So I'm kind of hoping that the Dolphins win, but I don't think they're going to be able to beat New England the way New England has played. As of late, they won the division. So I'm going to take the Patriots at home over Miami, which if Miami loses, now what happens to Tua Tagovailoa? What happens to McDaniels over as the head coach? I think he has to go. Like bringing him back, I don't see why you bring him back. He has, I mean, you have some talent there in Miami. And every year, this is where they're at, right? They're almost out of it. Even like in the last 2 3 weeks, you're not even competing. You're already out. Like you're not competing in the division and you're not getting in the playoffs. Now you can say that's Tua, and maybe it is, but Quinn Ewers, I don't think is the answer either. But I think as a head coach, you're the when you win, you get props. When you lose, you take the blame. He has not been a great coach this far for Miami. I think if they bring him back, I think the results are going to be the same. I don't think Miami gets into the playoffs. You've seen New England in the division. They're not going anywhere. Mike Vrabel's there. They're only going to continue to build from what they did this year. Josh Allen is still there. And so I think Josh Allen as long as he's there, Buffalo is going to be in contentions all the time, and they're going to be competing for the division. So where would that leave Miami? Only in third place, ahead of the Giants, who are really going to be bad, I think, again next year. So you've got to be better. Miami should be competing with New England. Hell, I think they should have been ahead of New England, right? But they haven't, and that tells me a lot. Mike Vrabel comes in, and he's already got the Patriots winning the division. McDaniels has been there. And he's still struggling, right? So if you bring him back, to me, if you bring him back, you're going to get the same results as you did this year and last year. It's time for him to go, make a change. I think you have to bring in a new coach. We'll see how all that plays out. And then the other afternoon game, you've got Washington at Philadelphia. Washington been a disappointment. A lot of injuries, especially to the QB position. But I think Dan Quinn comes back. There's been somewhere with that Dan Quinn, you need to fire. He needs to go. No, I don't think Dan Quinn needs to go. You know, I mean, I know what he's done. He's gone to the Super Bowl and then he lost it when he had to lead. And I know all of that stuff. But I think you got to give him another shot. There have been some injuries. He didn't have a star quarterback. That contributed a lot to the season and to the record that they have now. So if I was Washington, I'd at least give Dan Quinn another year, see what he can do with the healthy Jaden Daniels and with the healthy squad. Let's see what he does next year. If he continues or he struggles, then maybe I start considering we got to change. But I don't change coaches this year. Last year, he had a great season. This year, he had injuries. He struggled. I think he's earned the right to have at least one more year. We'll see how all that plays out. For Philadelphia, they're playing really good this year in terms of winning the division. To get to the Super Bowl, I don't see this team getting there. To me, Philadelphia struggled a lot. There's been some in-house terror there, bits here and there. I don't think Jalen Hurts is playing as good as what I thought he was going to play. The stats definitely don't say that. So I think their defense is playing really good now, and you really need a defense as you get into the playoffs. My concern is with the offense. How good will they be when they play these teams like Chicago, like San Francisco, let's see who else they got. Seattle, right? They've got some offenses that can score. The Rams can score. So I'm not so sure they're at the top of the NFC. And because they're not at the top going into the playoffs, I don't think they'll get back there. So I think they'll get in the playoffs, but I think they might be 1 or 2 and done. I definitely don't have Philadelphia in the Super Bowl this year. And then you have the night game. It'll be played on Peacock. I'm definitely going to tune into this one at night. Got Baltimore at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh should have already won this division or should have won last week. They lost. Very disappointing. So I'm definitely going to watch this game. For Baltimore, will Lamar Jackson play or not? I haven't really read anything today as far as if he is or if he isn't. So that's I like to see Lamar Jackson play, but if he can't, you saw what Derrick Henry did last week, man. Derrick Henry is a player that Baltimore can rely on to win you a game like this, right? He had over 200 yards rushing. They needed that. I've been saying that. Give the ball to this guy. That's why you brought him in. Let him carry you to all those wins. Sometimes they don't use them like I think they should, and they end up losing. So if Lamar Jackson isn't there, they still have someone else they can rely on to take him home like he did last week. Great. I mean, he's built for this. So lean on Derrick Henry, even if Lamar Jackson is able to play, and let him take you home across the finish line. For Pittsburgh, disappointing loss, just if after losing that game to Cleveland and only scoring 6 points, I don't see much or have much faith that the Steelers are going to come in here and be able to beat Baltimore, even though they're playing at home. Aaron Rodgers is going to have to play better, and I think he will, but we'll see what happens here. But that loss to Cleveland, to a team that had only won 3 games, right, and you can only score 6 points in 4 quarters, doesn't say much for you. So if Pittsburgh does not win this game, they're out of the playoffs, right? Winner will be in the playoffs, they'll win the division. Does Mike Tomlin come back? Aaron Rodgers probably won't come back, although you never know, right? But he's supposed to retire after this year, so you got to go search for another quarterback. But I know they're so loyal to Tomlin. But would they keep Mike Tomlin again next year if Pittsburgh does not win this game and they're out of the playoffs? All that is what's still out there, and we'll talk more about that when the season ends, about these coaches and what they shouldn't do. But I have Baltimore because what I saw from Derrick Henry, I think he can perform like that again in this game on the road to take you home and win. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a great game. But Aaron Rodgers definitely has to play better, and he's going to have to put it on his shoulders to be able to carry Pittsburgh if they want to win the division and get into the playoffs. I think Pittsburgh has a great chance to win. They're at home, man. The advantage is there. Even though they played bad, the advantage is there for them. But I just don't have that confidence that Pittsburgh is gonna win this game after what I saw from them last week. And by the way, I'm not a Steelers fan anyway, so I don't really want them to win. I'd rather see Baltimore there, but that's just my personal opinion. But we'll see what happens. Pittsburgh is at home, so they'll be tough. But I'm taking Baltimore over the Steelers. So James sent me a text. Not going to be able to come back on, I believe. So that'll end the predictions. That was for week 15. We'll be back tomorrow at 4:30 to talk NBA. So a lot of stuff going on in the NBA. So we're going to get into other sports. There's some college basketball boys, males and females that I want to talk about as well. There's some all kinds of other stuff that's going on as well. So we'll talk a little bit more football, but we're really going to get into the NBA and talk some basketball tomorrow. Don't forget that this podcast, you can catch it. The entirety of this podcast will be on the GT Sports YouTube and on Spotify, right? The rest of it will break up clips, and you'll see that on the GT Sports Facebook and Twitter page, and then also on the GT Sports TikTok. Remember, if you like what we're doing, and because we talk sports all the time, I'm not a professional. I just like coming onto the camera and talking sports and giving my opinion. But if you like what we're doing, definitely subscribe to the GT Sports YouTube channel. I have over 200 subscribers, man. I definitely like to get those numbers up. So if you tune in and you like what we're doing and you like what we're talking about and you like what we're saying, but how you can help me is to go on to our GT Sports YouTube channel and push that subscribe button so my numbers can go up. Again, I'm Gabriel Trevino. Just wanted to come out here a little bit with my partner who left a little earlier, James Johnson. We're both scheduled to be back tomorrow, and we'll talk some NBA and college hoops. Until then, man, have a great evening.